Hello YouTube, and thanks for joining me on this review of the Casio SGW-100-3V. This is one of Casio's twin sensor watches. Unlike the ProTrek or Pathfinder series, it only has two sensors. For this one, it's a compass and thermometer. No altimeter, barometer. The things I like about this watch, I'm just going to go through a quick list of likes and dislikes, and let me know what you think in the feedback below, and give me a like or a thumbs up or thumbs down. The things I like so far, I should say I've had one for a couple of years. The first thing is the main display, very big digits, very easy to read at a glance. And then you've got sub-displays which are smaller, but the main features are always on this big display, so easy to read the time from a distance, or whatever is being shown there you can read from a distance. They're nice and dark too. The battery that uses is a CR 2015 lithium, which gives about a 3-year life on this. I don't know if you can see across the bottom of the display here. It's 200 meters water resistant, even though it's not a G-Shock. Also, I kind of like it's pretty thin compared to today's G-Shocks. For comparison, here's a GD350, which I'll review separately. It's an absolute monster by comparison. Looks like I'm zoomed in a little too tight here. And here's a G2900. So you can see here is the G-Shocks are thicker, but it still has that water resistance and everything, which I like. Another thing I like about this is that the time of day is visible in all the modes. So on the home screen, of course, it's visible right here on the main display, and then across the top we have the day, date, and month, and then seconds at the bottom. And the next screen, here's our world time. So here it shows you in Beijing, it's 5:52 in the morning. And here at home, though, it still shows you that time of day, 4:52 in the evening. And you can go through the different cities by just pushing this. Next, we have the stopwatch. So again, nice big digits here. If I start that with this button there on the lower right, we've got hundreds of seconds here, and minutes here. The stopwatch only goes for an hour, and then it just resets through the minutes again. So that's one small disadvantage if you like to time longer running events. But even so, you have your time of day here. So while you're timing something, you still can just at a glance know what time it is. We have the ever useful countdown timer. It's gotten to the point where I hardly ever buy a Casio digital watch without the countdown timer anymore. It's just such a useful feature. I have it here set for 3 minutes. That's about the amount of time that I steep my tea when I'm making tea. Again, so here it says timer mode and time of day. So now the alarm screen, same thing. Time of day here at the top. This is the time of the current alarm, and it shows you here it's off. So if we push the adjust button momentarily, it'll turn each alarm on or off. And then by pushing this button here, we go through. There's alarm 2, alarm 3, alarm 4, and snooze alarm. And then this is the hourly chime. You can set for how many minutes past the hour it'll go off. So maybe you have a break at work at 15 minutes past the hour, then you can set it to go off at, I don't know, 10 minutes past. And back to the home screen. Then of course we push the compass button here, and it gives us, it points to north with the little pointer here on the lower right, lower left now. Tells you the temperature is 79.4. Just goes for a few seconds so that it doesn't burn up the batteries too fast. And here's your heading, and here's your direction, southeast. Still time of day is there, so that's nice. So, and just like other Casios, we've got mode here, action here, adjust here, and light is always this button here. Never does anything else. Another thing I like about this, this is the one with the 3V suffix. This has this nice nylon band that we're starting to see more and more on Casios. It's a double layer thick, you can see here. It's double layers, and the edges are sewn together all around, and the holes are melted, it looks like, with some kind of a hot iron or something, so that they won't stretch out. The material is nice and thick, and then you know, the holes are melted rather than cut or punched or whatever. And then it's attached to the watch with vinyl here, but it seems to be pretty rugged so far. But I find I prefer this to the resin. The one with the 1V suffix has a resin band, and it doesn't breathe quite as well as nylon. So put it on here, and you can see what it looks like on my 6 3/4 inch circumference wrist. So the strap keeper ring seems to stay put pretty well. It's vinyl. It felt a little cheap. That was a little disappointing to start with, but it's been pretty, you know, durable, and it doesn't slide around a lot either, so that's good. Nice round metal buckle that bears, you know, allows it to slide here pretty easily. And the one last comment, the backlight is it's not very weak. Don't plan on having any tactical use for that. It's mostly just lights up the digits rather than the whole screen. So it's easy enough to read the time in the dark, but it's not impressive as a light on its own. Right now, as I do this video, this is about $43 or $44 on Amazon, and the resin band one is like $2 or $3 less. I guess aside from only having a 1-hour stopwatch, the only other thing I don't like is when you're setting something. Here's a perfect example when we're in world time mode. When you're setting something, you can only go up, and with this button here. Other watches, like for example the GD350 I mentioned, you can go up or down because it's got a 5-button interface. This only has a 4-button interface, so if you miss the city you want, you got to go through all of them until you get back to where you want. And it's the same when you're setting the timer for something. If you miss it by 1 minute, you have to go all the way through. But you know, pretty minor criticisms, and you can't really complain too much for $44. So there you have it, the Casio SGW-100-3V. I really like it. I give that one 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching.